This is for the ones who smile in the mirror, but cry in their minds. For the teens who carry the world on their shoulders, but tell no one. My name is Leonore, and this is how I dealt with stress and anxiety in my teens. Not the picture-perfect version, but the real one. The late nights, the quiet breakdowns, the fight to breathe. If you're watching this, maybe you felt it too. And if you have, this story is for you. Let's rise above, together. They say your teenage years are supposed to be the best time of your life. But no one told me how loud silence can be, how you can be surrounded by people and still feel invisible. I didn't know what anxiety was. I just knew that something inside me didn't feel okay, and I didn't know how to say it. It started small, tight chest, racing thoughts, that weird pressure in my throat like I was about to cry, but never did. I thought I was just tired, but the tiredness didn't go away. I'd stare at the ceiling at night, mind spinning with everything I didn't say out loud. Worried about school, family, the future, even friendships that felt fake. I couldn't explain it. I didn't know the words, so I smiled. I laughed at the right times. I said, I'm good, even when I wasn't. Because that's what we're taught to do, right? Be chill, be cool, be okay. But I wasn't okay. Anxiety is like a whisper in your ear that never stops. It tells you that you're not enough, that everyone's judging you, that if you speak up, people will leave. Stress feels like you're running a race, but never getting closer to the finish line. Homework piles up, expectations rise, and while others seem to float through it, you're sinking. I felt guilty for feeling this way, because others have it worse, right? That voice in my head told me I was being dramatic, that I should just toughen up. But the truth is, pain is pain, and mine was real. There came a moment I'll never forget. I was alone in my room, overwhelmed and numb. I stared at the wall, wondering if it would ever get better. And then I whispered out loud, I can't do this anymore. It wasn't a scream, it was a quiet surrender. But that moment changed everything. Because sometimes healing doesn't start with a breakthrough. It starts with breaking, and finally being honest. I picked up a notebook, and for the first time, I wrote everything down. No filter, no shame, just truth. And that's when I started breathing again. Healing didn't come overnight. It came in waves, slow, heavy, and unpredictable. Some days I felt strong, others I didn't want to get out of bed. But I started making small promises to myself, to speak kindly to my mind, to let go of things I couldn't control, to ask for help, even if my voice shook. I talked to someone, a friend, a teacher, a journal, anyone who would listen, and little by little, the weight got lighter. Not gone, but lighter. I learned that vulnerability isn't weakness, it's strength. I learned that pretending is more exhausting than being real. And I learned that most of us are struggling. We're just afraid to say it out loud. So I started saying it. And people started listening. Some even said, me too. That's when I realized I wasn't alone, and neither are you. If you're watching this, maybe you're where I was. Maybe the pressure feels like too much. Maybe your chest feels heavy and your mind won't slow down. Please hear this. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are not alone. This is not the end of your story. This is just a chapter. And healing, even when slow, is still healing. So breathe, speak, write, cry if you need to. And when you're ready, rise above. If you felt this, and it helped even a little, go ahead and like the video, and if you want more stories like this, hit subscribe. I've got more coming, and you're not going to want to miss it.